Welcome to Capture the World with Dee. Interviews with companies and individuals to learn more about digitally capturing the built world. Video, drone, 3D tours, pictures, panoramas, and more. And now your host, a social influencer and community activist, Dee Johnson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Capture the World with Dee. I'm your host, Dee Johnson. Today's podcast is being sponsored by MatterScan, a company that does laser scanning for every environment. They're owned by a good friend of mine, and right now they're looking for Vizoport Pro 1 cameras to buy. So if you have one sitting around that you'd like to get rid of, give them a call or send them an email. You can email them at info@matterscan.net or call them at 603-479-9626. Of course, I'll put all this information in the description of this podcast. But again, if you have a Vizoport Pro 1 you're not using, you want to get rid of it, this is a good place where you can dump it. So again, it's matterscan.net. And the owner's name is John Hubbard. All right. My guest today is the owner of Vizoport, a leading online hub for digital viewing content ranging from 2D pictures to 3D immersive scans, with a global team of professionals, editing experts ready to transform your content into eye-catching professional images and viewing. He's a great guy, and he's coming to us all the way from Thailand. Please help me welcome Rory Stoll.
Hello. Hey.
Hi, Rory. Thanks for joining me. I'm a little bit tongue-tied this morning, but perhaps I need another cup of coffee. Anyway, so all the way from Thailand, and I did notice on your website that you said that you guys work around the clock, which is true because it's midnight over there, right?
Correct.
So I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and staying up so late to join me. Why don't we start out by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Vizoport and how you started this whole company.
Okay, yeah, I'm American, so I've spent a large chunk of my time in America, obviously, but about at the age of 19, I started doing contract work and always moving around quite a bit. And I always went to the darker places like Antarctica, Iraq, and Afghanistan. And in the process of doing all of these, I eventually found my way out into Asia. And it's kind of been my home for the last 15 years or so. And in the process also of being out here, you're always looking for new things to do, business ventures. And I was always intrigued by immersive content. Mm-hmm. Even so far back as 4 years ago, I started looking at VR, trying to figure out ways to pull that into the scene of anything, be it real estate or entertainment. And I started talking to some friends, and everyone seemed interested in it. But this is back when you'd hold up a phone and you could see 360, yeah. And that blew everyone's mind. So I was like, let's find the next cool thing. And I eventually wandered across some sites and early Vizoport. And I said, I'm going to get one of these cameras because I really was, it looked maybe very techy and it looked also quite easy. So I got my first Vizoport camera many, many years ago when they first came out, shipped it to Thailand. And my girlfriend and I at the time, we scanned our apartment. I sent it to my friends. They were all like, wait, how'd you get the roof off? What did you do? What kind of magic's this? Uh-huh. And right away, the day I did the scan, I also took it and went into augmented reality and made like a business card. So you had a...
Whoa, oh, cool.
And then I always wanted to add more onto it. So first, I would say the beginning of the business was being an MSP like most people. And in Asia, we weren't stepping all over each other. There was nobody out here. So literally could roll out into businesses and sell quite easily. And we were flying to the Maldives, we were in Philippines, we were all over Southeast Asia and in Tokyo, and just traveling with the camera. But over time, I realized too that it wasn't scalable unless I built up a team, unless also focused on other low-hanging fruits. So that's when we started pulling together teams of people to produce content, because we would be buying, like most people, I'd be like, okay, I'll get some floor plans over here. I want to get some photo enhancement over here. And wait, I want to do this. And we started grabbing from all these people. And I said, wait a minute, we can also be doing this. And being we're in Southeast Asia and we have a lot of talented skill sets coming out of colleges and whatnot, we were able to ramp up a good team. And now our team's up to almost 28 people. And we just keep going for new content. I can show you a little bit later or share with some people the other things that we have on our table. But right now we've been focusing on the lower hanging fruit, which is we do 2D floor plans, which are currently just $6.50 on our website, 3D floor plans for $9, and we're keeping the prices at a range where it's very palatable for people to take those on. And
yes,
virtual staging for $19 and all of these things. And as you see too on our website, we're always offering new content, and we're always trying to find stuff that kind of wows, marketing material and all of these things. And right now, we're just always looking for the next thing. We just locked in today. It's been about 3 months in the process, but we're doing AI photo enhancement and sky replacement. So all of this will be connected to a platform, which I mentioned will be maybe on a future podcast that we're still setting up. But our idea is to have this content readily available and allow for anybody that wants to resell it or push this out into the market themselves. It'll be available to them through a white label solution.
So a true innovator. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that you mentioned. So the 2D floor plans, what do people need to give you in order to get a floor plan?
They can give us a bar napkin with a few lines on it. We've also got it down with our guys. Or actually, it's not going to be super accurate, but a lot of our floor plans are just for visual. So we've had a lot of people that just send us 360s, a tour that's not a Matterport. Obviously, Matterport's an easy one to get floor plans from because you can do the measuring tool. But we've had people that shoot with other just 360 cameras and put them into other tours. And they're like, how do we get a floor plan? And I said, well, there's always option A, B. You can go in and draw with a, pencil and paper and measure, or you can, use all these other different floor plan tools that are out there with these, ability to scan the room. Or what we just did is we tested it out. We've done a few where we just, not a few, we've done quite a bit, where our techs just walk through the house in 360 and they kind of measure, and they use the standard doorway as a guideline to say, okay, this doorway is going to be about this wide, or windows. They find a few objects that they can measure in there, and then they basically line out the whole building and create floor plans that are fairly close to what would be the accurate size. So a little bit more time consuming, and when I go behind them, I can tell it's not their favorite thing to do.
Wow, so that's amazing because, So the other thing is, in the U.S., bathtubs are 5 feet long.
I did not know that. Mm-hmm. Me being 6'7", I've never had a good time in a bathtub.
Well, that's why. Well, that's when I was working at another company. I kept telling them, look, guys, the bathtub has to be 5 feet. And that's how I could tell if it was accurate or not. But anyway, wow. So that's great. So the price is really good. That sounds great. And then I know a lot of people want 3D floor plans.
Yeah, 3D floor plans are becoming, at the beginning it was a little bit, people didn't really get it, and they also didn't understand that. But they're more showy, and they look good in brochures, and people, we've been using them a lot because we create tours now that, obviously with Matterport, people really, they got the dollhouse, and we were trying to find a way to compensate for that ability to see a space in 3D. So what we did, and we create these Vizoport that allow for people to have a radar. So it's a split screen. You have a 3D floor plan, and then you have the panoramic, and then you can navigate and see the radar as you're going. And they like it better with the 3D floor plan because it really gives a feeling like, okay, I'm in the living room. Yep. And we try and match the furniture best we can. The problem with 3D floor plans is people's houses are so unique. We just always have the asterisk saying we'll try and match it best we can. But 3D are quite popular now, mostly for marketing and showcasing.
Well, I always have said that it's important to have any kind of floor plan with pictures, with hotspots, and that's going to be the next way that we show pictures of a house, right? It won't be the little slide thing at the bottom where you have all the pictures in a row. It'll be a floor plan with each of the photos on that floor plan. You click on and it goes to that one, because it gives you context, right? Because I can see a picture of a bathroom and it's like, which bathroom is this? Where is it? Right.
Yeah.
So
it's a big problem for a lot of people. I mean, if you go out here in particular, I always use the reference where I'm at, but content, if I want to go see a condo or an apartment, my girlfriend and I out here moves, it seems almost yearly, and we have 3 cats. We don't have kids, but we go and look for places, and we're always trying to make sure they have a little action area, a place to play around, or, open space and all of these. We really want to know the area, and there's just, no content that makes it. You see 4 photos and you're like, wow, okay, I'm going to drive across through Bangkok traffic and go across town and get to this. Sorely disappointed. So we've always been selling the point of people really have to understand, they have to conceptualize, and the more immersive the content, the easier it is for people to actually navigate in that direction. So, and that also brings us in where we've introduced in our tours also the thing that kind of popped out of the COVID, which is the live guided tours, and being able to actually visit a few spaces before you actually jump in a car or go across town to see them. So we're always shooting for new and engaging content, and want to make it available to everyone and produce it for a low price.
Yes, your prices are really good. Okay, so the other thing that you said, you do virtual staging, right?
Correct. We do virtual staging. We've been working a lot in actual virtual builds. So people will send us floor plans, and we recreate or create the house, and we do that for tours, for videos, for photos. It can be the front of the house, the back of the house, inside, all of the areas, and we try and match their design requirements. So a lot of people that are building condos come to us to do pre-sale. So they do the pre-build, and we give them a packet so that they can showcase the place. And maybe a lot of them are selling the properties. The market's really hot now, so crazy enough, people are selling properties before a shovel even hits the dirt.
The best way. But
yeah, and that's the other thing where we're doing this thing called the configurator, which allows people to fit properties out with all of the materials. They send us the materials, we digitally recreate it. So it allows people to really put together a house and see what it would look like. And we build this in Unreal. So it's got that Unreal has always been used a lot by gamers, and we're using this technology because it's very, you can walk through like you're really there, and the textures and the qualities, it's pretty realistic. If you showed somebody it from, first time, they would think that they're in a real actual house walking around. So we're pretty excited about that. And then we also have the area fly around, which allows us to actually showcase the area around the house. As you know, it's not just the condo or the house, it's the location, how far away is the hospital, where's the school, where's the shopping center. So we're trying to get into more of that content where people can really navigate and view the property in its area.
So that's cool. So that gives you the immersive experience and the feeling of what would it be like to live in this home. And then the ability to create a building that hasn't been built yet would be helpful for builders even. Because I built the house that I live in right now, and I've seen a lot of them going, okay, wait, I have to now calculate how much paint to buy. And if you have a program that calculates that for you, that would be fantastic.
Well, it's good also because it allows you can walk around it and take photos, and then you kind of, it allows you to save the errors. Like I mentioned before, my aunt and her horrible discovery of the wrong tint of a carpet, and it, having to go to court because they, the contractor didn't read the right sample or whatever. But it's more along the lines for people to really see the place, because it's like anything. When you go and get a suit made or you do something, you have to go in and try a different couple fittings. So this really is just a baby step in to get the property looking the way they like and confident that they want that kind of wood, that kind of granite on the countertop. So it's an easy one.
Around here, when you buy a home that's in the middle of being built, you can choose different color palettes, different, types of countertops. And so that would allow you to see what all the things are that you've chosen put together.
Correct.
And for me, it would be like, I'd put them together and be like, no.
Go into one of those centers, you go into the places that and they've got all of the samples on the wall. You can visually see like that floor with that counter with backsplash in the kitchen, and you can kind of get an idea. So this really allows them to fully put that out. And like I said, a lot of people have been doing the pre-builds because it's very much time saver for them. It gives them marketing material right out of the gate. Really nice videos with everyone. You can even have people in them now that look semi-realistic. So we've been having fun with that. And like I said, this is, I think, the push for us in the future is going to be a lot more of that material. We're also looking at doing the mapping and actually getting these, doll houses that are created out of the 360 panos. We're trying to make it a new thing on our thing. It's very tricky. We're trying to incorporate as much as we can with AI, because AI obviously for labor and saving and just speed, being able for people to, we have people that can work on photos now and it's not an issue and we can keep the prices really low, but it's becomes down like if a person could take 50 photos and drop them in a Dropbox and they get 1 minute later, all of the photos completed, it's a speed thing. And we want it all automated and let our team focus on more fun things, because editing 15 misaligned photos is killing our staff, and it's just the same. We're always looking for new ways to reduce costs and also make it more efficient.
Yeah. So that's the other thing you do, photo editing, because I get a lot of people contacting me saying, I need a good photo editor.
It's tricky because photographers, if you work with real estate photographers, they're very, there's a majority of them have a standard and a quality that is almost impossible to reach in a lot of ways. I'm always very open and saying we'll do our best, but there's people that spend a lot of time. I was on a phone call actually today with a guy from Northern California. He's a photographer and he's just, he's got a skill set like photographers do, and he has a standard. And when you do three-phase HDR blends for him, they have to be at the top quality. And also photo editing, photographers see stuff that people don't, their eyes look at a photo different. So we're always trying to match that, but it is also a very difficult area to run into, because to meet the standards that they want and keep the prices where we're at, we always have these issues where we're like, okay, we got to meet in the middle, or we do our best. A lot of it has been pleasantly surprised, but it is not easy. Photographers are very picky.
What they don't understand is people like me don't see what they see.
I can't tell. Sometimes I see a photo and he's like, you see the difference? You see that? And I'm like, I can see a little bit. I mean, how big's this photo? I mean, if it's a billboard over New York City, okay, I get it. But a lot of these photos are, on a web page, and they're about, 4 inches wide at top. So, but anyway, we do a lot of photo editing. I mean, that's a lot of photo staging now. A lot of people have been using that. So being able to go into a property that's empty and just stage it out with a nice look. And that seems very popular now because people are really trying to push that out into the market as well. So they just want to show what the place looks like. Again, more visually making people excited. If you show a couple photos of an empty living room, it doesn't really trigger the creative side. We're like, oh, I can see myself sitting there having a glass of wine, watching Netflix. They just see an empty room and it's kind of sad for them, and they get a little bit sad.
Excuse me. All right. So let's see some other stuff that you do.
So, like I said, too, when I was mentioning the, what else is there? We do just about everything, really. I mean, we've got 45 different products on our website as of now, and we do cutaways, we do the photo enhancement, multiple styles. We're doing the twilight changes. We do tours. So people, a big thing that we've had, a lot of people have been trying to figure out ways to deal with the Matterport account. So we've been helping a lot of them where they, if the funny thing about Matterport is you get to a certain level and to jump from like 50 to 100, you have that period where you might have 64 and they're like, oh, I need to retire some of these, or they want models from like some of the areas for long term. So we've been helping a lot with extraction of 360s, or if they shot them with the Theta Z or something, we create tours for them quite cheap, and it allows them to own them and host them. So that's been very popular too, because even our main client out here, we had a client out here that had over 1,200 Matterport scans, and they're like, I can't do the build. And I was like, I understand. And he's like, we need a solution. So we just took all of their models and transferred them over. And, we own over 7 Matterport cameras out here. We still shoot a lot with that. So I'm not anti-Matterport. It's just people are always looking for solutions that fit their billfold, and also, different ones. A lot of them really needed stuff. A lot of hotels and stuff we work for need branded content. They can't have powered by Matterport or that on there. They just need it. So we were working on solutions to give them tours that are branded like they want. It fits what they want. It has everything in there. So that's another thing that we've been doing. We've got a ton of new things coming. And like I said, too, the platform that's coming out soon will give all of this to the people to have access to the white label and the store and have all of that. So a lot of people come, you see it all the time on the groups. People want content. They want to market in their area. Mm-hmm. They don't have a presentation. They have basically a name of their company at best. And they're like, I really want to go, and I've never been to, I want to reach out to developers, but I don't have a sample, and I don't have a white label, and I can't use your video because it has your logo, and then maybe they'll call you up. So we have these people, this is where all of this came from. People is like, I need white label, and I want to be able to, showcase. And so what we're doing is we're putting together these packets, and it'll basically be all the content. It'll be fully white labeled or with their logo on it, so they can go confidently into a meeting and push out these products to people like as if it was their own. And then we follow them step by step, so they don't have a problem if they're like, hey, the guy asked if he has what's a DWG file? If he has a DWG file, can we make something from that? I'm like, yeah, that's fine, we can do that. So we're trying to get people in the comfortable zone of being able to push these products out. And I said, we up until about maybe a year ago, we were mostly focused just on Southeast Asia. Now we're focused on global. Mm-hmm. And we've got people in Canada, we've got people in America, we've got people in Switzerland. We're working with people across the globe that are all setting up their own little niche markets, and they want content. So our big push has always been going to the global market, which is also a little bit difficult because that means we've got to run a 24-hour operation. Yep. We need quality support, and it's really difficult when you're, like you said, you're in Thailand and it's 1 a.m. and my phone just goes bing, 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 and I'm like checking our customer support agents. And it's also it's not as easy when you have over 40 different products training. Staff. We're bringing on we have a new guy coming on at the end of this week. He's French Italian, and he's going to focus more on the European market. We're hiring people in the States to work for us to help push the product out there. So you kind of need people in those areas that understand the market more.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So there is something, this concept of this whole marketing hub is coming soon. We'll have you back on in maybe a couple months when it's ready, and then we'll to show it to the world. Okay.
Yeah, you would really, that is exciting. I don't want to blow the whistles yet, but that'll be a whole nother set. I think everyone will really like it. It's quite impressive.
Yes.
And we've been spending we're going on 2 years working on it. So it's nothing short of a long drawn out plan, but when you build anything, it takes a while, and everything we focus on, we try and give it 110%, but it's been a crazy year. This year's already started off funny, but I think in the next couple of months, I would love to come back on and showcase that as well.
Yes, we'll definitely have you back on. So their website is Vizoport.com, spelled Vizoport.com.
Yep.
So you are one of the owners, right? Are you the only owner?
No, I have a partner, and we actually have investors that came in with the new setup. So yeah, it's me and a gentleman named Stefan, who's more on the showcase side. Vizoport's always been content provider. So we were always working, we've got a lab, we work on content creation. So yeah, we kind of split the team up in 2 directions. And then we have, a few partners that are out of Singapore and Malaysia. And the company's growing. We're funded and moving forward quite heavy. So the original owner, like I said, it started with my girlfriend and I and a Matterport camera, and it's developed into a quite successful and fun business. So we hope that it keeps going like that. Like I said, knock on wood, this whole year, this last year has been really good to us too. And despite the horribleness of this COVID thing, COVID really pushed this to another level.
Yes, it did.
I guess one of the few companies that can actually say they had a good year under the circumstances, which I feel very fortunate. And in a bad way, I don't like to push this on other people because it's, I know that I haven't been back to the States for a long time, and I know that, it's been tricky for everyone there. So yeah, it's good to have a business that works under the circumstances. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yes. At the beginning of last year, I remember when this all started, everybody thinking, uh-oh, real estate is going to tank. And it didn't. It boomed. And as a consequence of that, these, virtual tours just took off. So it was a very good year for anybody in that sort of space.
We had people that didn't want. We went in local wise. We went to a lot of people before, and we're like, hey, these virtual tours and this and that, and they saw it and they're like, yeah, I don't know if we need that yet. Everything right when we had a team of 8 of us. We were in KL the days when they started closing all the airlines, and I thought that I was brushing it off, and it was every day we were getting closer to going to the airport, and we were scanning. We had over 850 condos to scan in KL, and I'm like, my partner kept calling. He's like, hey, I think they're shutting the airports down. You should get the team on. I'm like, no, I called the airport. They said everything. And the day we went to the airport, it was like a movie. Me and the team with all of our Matterport cameras looked up, and all of the flackers with the click, 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 canceled. And I'm like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
And we scrambled, and I'm like, we're going to get stuck in KL now. This is horrible. And we literally got on the last flight out. We worked some magic and flew out. And then after that, all those people that we had been talking to prior, it took about a couple months, they were like, hey, those immersive tours are sounding really, really cool now. Now you want them. Okay. Yeah. Interesting time and interesting times we live in.
Yes, it was. Definitely. It still is. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I have a podcast coming up at the end of March where a bunch of us got together 6 months ago and talked about what the state of the world was and made predictions. And so it'll be
the time capsule episode.
Yeah, interesting to get those people back on. Some of my predictions came true, but some of them sadly didn't. Like the one where I said everybody will be healthy, we'll have world peace.
That one.
That didn't happen.
So not yet. You're supposed to let these tragedies bring people together, but it seems like the world today, just more divisiveness, more splitting. So like I said, everyone finds their own way.
Yeah, it's a crazy world right now. All right.
I hope everyone does well. And I think that anybody that's jumping into the virtual content and all of that will have a nice ride if they do things right. So our main goal is to give everyone the tools and products and stuff to make it more successful for their business. So I hope people contact us if they need anything. I'm always quick to react, and look forward to working with people.
So what email address should they use if they want to contact you?
Well, I'm supposed to tell you they're supposed to use our CS or our info at Vizoport, but you can also contact info at Vizoport, or if you want to contact me directly, Roren at Vizoport, ROREN, and I'm free to drop you in and get you lined up with whatever you need. If you heard anything here of interest, I didn't show any samples or anything, but if people are interested in any of these
let's
things,
see a few samples.
Okay. You want me to share a screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So yeah, this is basically the configurator I was talking about.
Okay, so this is the one I watched, and it's like, okay, this house has not been built yet. So
Correct. This is all just from floor plans, and then we drop it in, and then they actually are able to kind of see the outside. The outside's a bit cartoony still, and this is the floor plan view. So everything's kind of interactive, and this allows them to kind of change the outsides a bit. So if they want to see stone or brick, they play with that. And then once you go inside, you see how it's got more realistic. It's got quite a neat look. Yeah. So all of the objects inside are changeable. So you see them changing the countertop there. and the cabinets. And like I said, then you can back up and take photos and,
That's so
get
cool.
rid of the place. And then, the main thing here is just working on hyper realistic to make it look as realistic as possible. And then you say going around the place, being able to take photos and see what the place looks like fully is one part of it.
So when I was looking at some of these examples, I was like, is that real? And then I saw people in one of them. I'm like, are those real? And it took me a while. I was like, no, I don't think those were real, but boy, they sure look real.
Yeah, no, that's, let me go to another sample here, one sec. I kind of didn't really plan to do the samples. I stopped sharing, correct?
Yes, go ahead and share again.
Let me get my video back up. Give me 1 second. So this other one I'll show you here is it's more along the lines of the area fly around, which is the one that this one's near complete. The main thing that we're trying to do here is get this so that it can be online, as these are quite heavy. And so when I said we need these things online, we want to have it so that it's workable. Mm-hmm. So I will share this one with you.
Whoa.
So this one, what I'll go through is we take a model. So we'll get a construction model, for example, for this building, and we'll build a 3D model of it. So this is like a condominium, and then we replicate the area. So there's these cool features in SketchUp and these where we can actually replicate in 3D. Now we took away the textures and all of that to make it smaller, to make it online. Mm-hmm. But these textures and everything then is actual replication of the area itself. So those buildings, the park and all of that, and then you can get it in the 3D format. And then once you start flying around into it, you can get the surroundings. So where's the shopping mall? Where's the local school? Where's the transport? All of these things. So you can kind of navigate and get a feel for how far away you are from everything. And then these can also be highlighted by pictures or actual 360s. So people could go shoot 360s. And then now you're in the amenities. So you can see the swimming pool, the rooftop garden. You can see the different locations around the building there. And then when you go into the unit search, it's all broken down depending on the client, how they want to showcase the area. So if it's a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, what's the budget? Even the orientation of the view for the rooms. If you want to be facing west and you're in Colorado, you want to see the mountains, that would be the setup there. And then what it takes further is being able to really break down the building, get a feel for the area, so see where you are. And then you actually be able to click on the buildings here and fly in and see the actual property. So again, this is built by, just by the floor plan and conceptual art. Mm-hmm. And then you can navigate and walk around in a building that's not done. Now, if this was a real building, you could actually go into like a Matterport tour, one of these other, tours that are available. So this isn't just have to be pre-builds. This could be an actual showcasing of a property as well. So yeah, that's the area navigation and walk around tool that we've been working on from some of our clients.
Very cool.
Yeah. So those are just 2 little teasers there. Like I said, there's a lot more coming as we build this new setup in Unreal. We've been using a lot of it. SketchUp and Lumina and all of these programs work really well, but we're aiming more towards Blender, Unity, Unreal. Mm-hmm. These programs have a very diverse breakdown that makes it much more. I think it's the future of showcasing a lot. I mean, I think they're even doing like the Mandalorian and stuff in these new setups. So the higher content you can get, the better. But the main thing is it's computer speed. And also when you're showcasing stuff on the internet, people need stuff on the internet, but you got this high-end model on there. So we're trying to find the best way to use the interface.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, those are just a couple teasers, but there's a lot more coming down the line.
So cool. So look out for Vizoport coming back in a couple months. And again, if you want more information, more samples, go to Vizoport.com. I spent a good amount of time just watching the stuff. Some of it's fascinating. So check that out. And if you have any questions, info@Vizoport.com. or you can contact Roren, Roren, at Vizoport.com. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. And I really look forward to having you on again with all this new stuff coming down the line. Very exciting. And I know that a lot of people will be interested in that. So I've learned a lot, and I hope everybody watching has too. So thank you.
Dee. Very nice to always chat with you, and thanks for having me on. And yeah, I look forward to coming back again. And I'm off to bed now, so you have a good day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us. This has been Capture the World with Dee. I'll see you all next week. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.